Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Let me see if I want to share. Okay, let's do this one. Wait, hold on. Let me just see which one I want to do. This one? No, this one. Yes. Okay. Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Hi, Connie. Hi, Miguel. Can everybody hear me? Everybody sees the screen? Okay, everybody should be looking at all my stuff. I have a lot of cool stuff to show you. I hope everybody had a great holiday. Kelvin, Rob, everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Oh man, we got so much cool stuff going on. Okay, Kay put out her video of the week ahead, which I'm actually, let me just see if I can just, did she post it? She must have posted it in the, I think she emailed it. Let me just see if let me hang on a second. I'm going to find it. I'm going to post it in the room. I don't want to reprise her funda because you guys can just watch it. And because, today I'm a little bit, we're just kind of starting, there's a lot of projects and I'm starting the week with a lot of stuff behind us. So here we go. This is the video that she made. Let me get the, where is this thing? Let me get the link. Getting the link for you guys now. So you guys can watch the video. Copy link address. You can watch the video and you can see her her view on everything that's going on. So I've been working myself on a lot of other tools for us. I want to give you an update of what of all the tools that's going on, and then we'll talk a little bit about strategy, and then maybe as the morning rolls out, maybe we'll do a couple of trades. We'll play it by ear. So the first order of business is I have a beta version, which I haven't even tested yet, of the tool that's going to essentially leave us down to one single entry line. So we're not going to have to set up stops and take profits. The take profit will automatically be generated off the stop. And remember we talked about the idea of like using 70% of risk as your take profit. We're actually not using any of that right now in the structure that I'm using. But the point being is that whatever, like literally right now we're using 25% of profit as our target, which is where I'm going to be when I set up this tool. But the advantage of the tool is going to be that once you basically set your stop loss, you don't have to worry about the take profit. It will automatically be set. And if you want to change your take profit, which you should not do because of the new way I'm trading, then you and this is my second thing that I was going to show you, but it's beating me to the punch. But let me talk about. So bottom line is this new tool is coming. I'm going to test it out, and probably by the end of this week we're going to have a new trading version of this tool. It's going to be very cool in the sense that it will do dynamic take profits, right? The second thing that we did this weekend or this vacation is we created a fully functioning arrow trader indicator. This between the sessions and the reverse trader indicator, reverse pure, all of those were just variants of basically getting the whole structure right, which is using the moving averages as our state of buy sell, and then being able to use our proprietary arrow structure to properly populate the arrows. So what we did is we really simplified everything down to its core essence, and now the arrow indicator will do both reverse buys and reverse sells, continuation buys and continuation sells. It will place everything instantaneously on your chart, as you can see, right? So you're welcome to obviously download that. That's fully Trader Tools, fully free to you guys in Trader Tools. I uploaded the 5 and the 4 version. Obviously, the 5 version is the EXE4. the 5 version is ZXE5, the 4 version is ZXE4, so that's super easy to do. But the second thing that I did, which is very, very cool, is because this thing, and let me just go to MT4 because most of you guys are MT4, so it's easier to do this. So I'll use Oanda. So where's my thing here? Oh, here it is. Arrow Trader. Go edit. Oops, here we go. Okay. What I did is I remember that every one of these signals can use a WAV file to tell you, the trigger, right? And I had this. It took me a while to kind of figure this out, but I realized that we could actually not just have buy-sell signals, but have specific instrument buy-sell signals. So I recorded all these WAV files. I didn't record them. I'll show you how it was done. But I created all these WAV files for pound and for euro. And I left the regular buy-sell just for NASDAQ, but we can create a NASDAQ buy-sell signal. And as you can see, when there's an audio prompt, doesn't tell you whether it's just a buy-sell. It tells you which instrument it is, so you can go straight to the chart, which I thought was really, really cool. It's very self-explanatory. The format is instrument shorthand. So the first 3 letters of the instrument. So NASDAQ would be NAS, Dow would be Dow, and then obviously buy continuation, buy reversal, sell continuation, sell reversal. Right? I made it very, very short, so you don't have to type a lot of stuff. And those files are very easy to install. Very easy to install. All you have to do is so I'll show you all the various places where I installed them, but basically it's a super simple process. I'm gonna pull up my Explorer. So if you're using MT4, you go to your C drive and you go into 86, not program files, but program files 86, because that's where the MT4 stuff is. Then you go into, now I have several folders I have 2 separate Oanda folders for 2 separate accounts. So you have to put it into each single folder. But if you have just one folder for your MT4 installation, you would just go into, let's say, go over here. You go into your sounds folder right over here, and just literally after you've downloaded these waves, just drop them all there. As long as they're sitting in this sounds folder, they're completely callable and completely accessible to you for further trading. Now with MT5, the C drive is a little different. Instead of 86s, the MT5s are in program files. So you just go into program files, and you can see that I have 2 AMPs here. Same process, AMP, let's say 3K. You go into sounds, and you just have all this stuff dropped in there on sounds, okay? And that creates, oops, sorry, I can't move this around. So that's the super easy way of doing it. I'm actually going to, I think I'll create like a little video, to show you how to drop it in and configure it. But it's very, very self-explanatory and super easy to do. So any questions on that? Hit me with anything right now. Throughout the session, I'm going to keep all the sounds on because I want you to kind of experience what that process is like, whether you like it. You obviously can turn it off, you can turn it on, you can create different sounds. And the last thing I kind of want to show you is how do I create all these sounds? It's actually a little bit of a tedious process, a little modestly tedious process, but let me show this to you. Here we go. Where's my thing? Okay. So I'll send you the 2 links. It's basically a 2-step process. You got to go into this. It's all free. You go to this text-to-speech free website, right? And just to show you, here we go. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. Boris is the best teacher, right? So you type whatever sentence you want, and obviously, the protocol that I suggest is whatever instrument you want, buy reversal, sell reversal, whatever you want to say. and you have a whole selection of voices and speeds. What I used Alice's voice on slow in US English, because when I tried to do British English, I couldn't understand whatever the hell she was saying. But of course, you can make it any way, any voice you want, and including, by the way, any language that's, if English is not your native language, you could easily have it in Spanish for Miguel. I don't know, Boris is German, you know, native language, whatever you guys want. But you guys can have it in your own native language as well. But anyways, here's how it works. So you type in whatever words you want. You do create an audio file, right? It takes a couple of minutes, couple of seconds. Usually it was super fast. It was very, very fast for me during European hours. It may take a while now because everybody's probably using it during US hours, but let's give it a shot. We'll give it. I want to give it a few minutes. You have to be a little bit patient with this stuff. But in the meantime, let me see if I have any questions here from you guys. No questions? Everybody's cool? Literally, you guys are all like so quiet. Okay, so let's listen to this. So what, you know, I just remember I said Boris is the best teacher. Nice, right? Okay. So what happens next? Let's go back. So you have to download this, save link as, let's say Boris, right? And it comes down in MP3 format. Boris teacher, just kind of like sorry, right? So you name it whatever you like, save it, right? Then you have to go to a second website. You have to go to this website, which is the convertible website, and this website converts any file you have to the WAV format. So I'm going to drag Boris teacher over here, say start conversion. So the reason, I mean, I'm giving you this process because it's cheap and it's all web-based. You don't have to download any piece of software, and it's converted, and then I just download it. Now I have the WAV file. So if I want to listen to it, here's the WAV version. Where is this? Okay, see, it says that's the WAV version, and I could literally put that into my MT4 folder. Okay, cool. So we got a Eurodollar cell reversal arrow. Let's take a look at Eurodollar chart, and you see it says cell reversal arrow right over here. There is, I think, one minor bug where it is where I've seen it where it says where it's and I'm still trying to isolate it. If you guys want to help me with it, where if it's a cell continuation, it's actually calling it a bi-reversal. So for some reason, it's like it's not the audio, it's the actual code that's miscoding the arrows into the thing. I think that happens. I just noticed that. But regardless, I mean, the point being is that you can see it instantly gives you the signal, and you can then look at it, look at the chart, decide what you want to do. Kind of pretty cool, right? Hopefully you guys like that. So so it's all, you know, it's all set up for you in the basis, and as I said, you can create your own stuff. And you know, what's very cool about this is I think it's you know, really cool to like for anything, for like I'll tell you where I'm heading with this. So now we sort of have all of this stuff, right? Let me sort of hang on a second. Let me just kill this. I'll send everybody the free links by email so that you guys have a permanent record of it. But let me just, sorry, I want to move this over. I just want to look at how. Okay, so yeah, I already traded this. So I did a lot of reading over the vacation as well, and just really some yeah, I actually listened to a whole bunch of investing books on audio as well. There's a lot of tremendous stuff that I learned that I'm going to be discussing with everybody over the weekly columns. But one of the most important things that I sort of came away from lots of interviews with really successful hedge fund investors is that they focus relentlessly on literally the single best variant of their trade and nothing else. Like literally, they distill themselves to just the best setup that they know is there, and walk away from every other setup, even okay. Sorry, there's a lot of so euro dollar had a, so the problem is I have euro dollar obviously, you know, coded as this is a buy continuation error, so it's showing a buy continuation. There's actually, by the way, where's my other, oh shoot, where's my other account? My other account, I think I actually want, oh, I want to get long this. We're going to get long this on my account here. Where am I? Yeah, we're going to get long on this on my account. And I'm going to explain to you exactly actually why I want to get long this trade right now. So in this ethos of only taking the absolute best version of your setup, the very, very best version of our setup is the first trend signal in trend, the first trend signal in trend. So let me run you through what I think is literally the filet mignon of our setup, whereas everything else is, you know, hamburger helper. First, we need trend. So here we go. We have blue under black. That's the first, you know, first signal we have trend, right? Unambiguous, clean, clear trend. By the time we get to the third or the fourth candle, the trend is established, right? Then we need either a break of the continuation signal or a break of the reversal signal. It doesn't matter. The most important part is you have trend established and then a break of the continuation of the reversal signal, right? In this case, the continuation signal comes first. I got short over here, right? And boom, you know, it's a super easy trade here for +5. I cut it a little bit short because it was in front of the, you know, I wasn't sure before market open rotation if I wanted to be in the trade, but I actually should have just kept it. I mean, like literally, the hardest part about this setup is to ignore all the continuous candles, you know, over here, is to ignore all the various candles that follow, which may or may not be great setups, good setups, right? But they're not the best setups. And so what happens if you follow this very, very clean, strict protocol is you are just trading the switchbacks. You're just trading the change in momentum switchbacks. Now, what's beautiful about our strategy is that the false, so this is a switchback to the downside that where the sell signal never triggers, right? Never triggers. So no, you know, we wouldn't have lost in this trade anyways. And the way I have it structured right now, it really minimizes losses even in the bad entries. But the way I've optimized this now is it really increases wins to that magical 85% level, which is where you're just continuously killing it on a day-to-day basis. So I admit it takes a little bit of patience and discipline. But if you remember that there's going to be lots of switchbacks, and by switchbacks, I mean switch of trend from one to the other on a 1 minute chart. There's at least during the market hours, 6 or 7 switchbacks, right? So that there is lots of opportunities. And if you just focus on this one single setup, you put yourself in the best possible place for winning. Now, in addition to that, obviously, trading both sides, pound dollar buy reversal error. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so there's lots of opportunity to take all sorts of other trades. First of all, when you reduce yourself to just trading trend, we give up the reversal trades, right? Which are marvelous, right? I'm not. It's not that I want to give them up. I just want to start in the cleanest possible, in sort of the purest possible state, and then completely master. None of this will work on the Mac. None of this is going to work on the Mac. The only way you can make anything work on the Mac, Abdul, is by using a virtual private server and logging in to a Windows-based system in the cloud, and then running everything from the cloud, which is completely feasible and totally doable, right? So back to my idea of like, we're not doing reversal trades, not doing secondary trend trades, not doing any of that stuff. Not that they're not good, they're just not great. And I just want to reduce ourselves to just great signal entries to optimize our, the winning ratio. And then you can add. It's like once you've mastered the setup properly. And by the way, like just to update you, so this is the Euro trade, right? And this is the Euro trade. I got long, this was the first break of the trend to the upside, and it's floating. Will it work? Will it not work? We don't know yet, but it's working. It's working. That's the whole point. It puts us into a working proposition most of the time. I'm going to be patient with it. I'm going to let it float. So the secondary component to this is what's also very cool about this is because you're reducing your trade selection. You can then also, let me just move this out of the way. You can then also properly hedge yourself, right? And what I mean by properly hedge yourself is, remember, we're trading both sides of the market, right? The one thing that we it is an indicator. It is an indicator. There's fully automated EAs are only for those people that get the master classes. And if you have the master class, the reverse trader EA is there, and it's to be used with the reverse. And we'll Yaman, I'm going to eventually modify that EA. We're going to clean up that EA so that we're going to basically create an arrow trader EA. So it's all of those other EAs that you have, which are essentially progressive variants. All the variants of this idea. I'm probably going to just eventually. I'll leave them there for archival purposes. But what we're going to do is we'll create an arrow trader EA, which will use this, in a perfect format. Although reverse trader pure EA does a good job. It takes all the signals. So it's not a big deal. But eventually, we'll probably go to the arrow trader EA, which will have like a lot of this functionality, which is taking only the first trade and trend, that kind of stuff. We can automate all that. Let me see if there's any other questions here before I go on. Where's my Eurodollar trade? Oh, I think my Eurodollar trade got done. So this is a good example. You see, we got here, and we got done. We got done. I wasn't even looking at it. So this is +5 for the day today on just a clean, clear, absolutely, pure trend trade here. A lot of people are. I'm going to wait for you guys to finish typing before we talk. Anybody take the Euro trade with me, by the way? I'm just curious. So we have, by the way, while I'm talking, we obviously have 3 minutes to the open. You see the NASDAQ starting to really sell off here. Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, but it's probably will be. Uh, I don't know what to tell you, Boris. I'm trying, the thing is, we've gone through so many versions that it's, honestly, it will take me probably a couple of weeks because, we need to, we're almost finalized on the versions, right? So, and there's so many different things that are going on because remember, um, for everybody sort of like I'll be honest with you guys. My first priority is you guys, which is day trading in the room. So my first priority is to give you the tools, the sound files, the executions, right? Jonathan, did you download the Arrow Trader? Oh, no, Jonathan, all your stuff is expired. All your stuff is expired. And that's, it's one of the things that I've been dealing with because all the other stuff has expired at the year end. So I have to update this. So you're probably using old tools. So my whole point is, I just, if you use the Arrow Trader tool, that will not expire. It's going to run this whole year for you guys, and you can just use that because that's the most accurate, simplest, cleanest, easiest way to get arrows. So just go to Trader Tools, download the Arrow Trader, and you don't even have to do anything else. No sound files, nothing else. It will instantaneously put all the arrows you got on it, both in 5 and 4 perfectly. So that'll be really good, like you can see. So where's my mind? Yeah, so I guess my whole point is, I am prioritizing the day traders ahead of the EA traders, just because the EA, really needs a little bit more tender loving care before it's fully functional. And because I'm not a believer in the EAs, as I told you, I think the EAs we're going to we're moving into this kind of a quasi-automatic a method where we're going to use lots of automatic symbols or signals for us to trigger manual trades. Now, I'm perfectly happy with running EAs for those of you guys that want to run them on sort of longer term time frames. But that will be like my latter project of just optimizing that, making sure that's working. So I guess to answer your question, everybody who's asking me questions about the EAs, you're gonna have to wait because I need to get the tools are paramount. The EAs are secondary. I will promise you I will get everything done. I'll get you the EAs fully functional, but I really want to get the tools fully functional. So on to the tools question, because the tools are paramount because for everybody who's day trading here manually with me needs to have the best, latest, most accurate, most efficient tools to day trade better. That's kind of like my view, So as far as the tools question goes, we're going to have the dynamic take profit, and then this is the really cool part because now we have the Arrow Trader indicator. We will actually be able to. Dougie and I are working on this. We're still trying to figure out exactly the UI on this. Automatically, we'll be able to say hit the buy button, and it will automatically populate the proper value off the latest arrow. So you'll be able to instead of us manually kind of adjusting all this stuff, it will just automatically populate it, and then we can drag it, and drop it anywhere on the chart. It's just going to make it a lot easier to trade off the signal. Okay. So because what it will do is it will actually read the it will read the signal of the arrow trader and say, and it will say, do you want to take this trade? And if you say yes, it will then set it up. It will set up a buy on candle close at that level, automatically. Just like you say yes, and boom, it will automatically set the arrows instead of us manually, kind of semi-manually putting the value into it. So it'll be really easy and really cool. So it looks like we're getting shaved here on the open. I don't have any, obviously don't have any trades to my methodology of staying in trend. It's at this point, we have a big, we have a big sell-off that came off. I think how high did we go to the upside? I totally forgot. I think we went like all the way up to was it the 50s? I'm not sure. I think we almost came down to the 13,000s. What was I gonna say? So, we're gonna be patient with this and just wait and not take any. Like right now, we do have using our reversal methodology a possible reversal setup if we get a reversal arrow because it's so well stretched, and I may very well take the trade. But I lost my train of thought in the sense that I was saying, how do we hedge the perfect trade? So the perfect trade is the first trend trade of the switchback, right? And so I got short over here, I made money, boom. But let's say it wasn't working. I got short over here, the trade wasn't working. How would I hedge that trade the other way? And to me, again, you use the arrows to hedge the other trade. So with this, when you kind of look at the market this way, it becomes eminently obvious as to how you control your risk. So you would get short here on this break, and if the candle closed above this arrow, essentially refuting the trend signal, you'd get long over here. And then you would, then you have a choice. One of those trades is going to hit, and then you can just decide. One of the things I've been doing, by the way, which I find actually really good because it reduces my risk factor, is I don't necessarily, like, let's say if the trade gets reversed to the upside, I don't necessarily then hope for my original trade to come back to profit. If I made money on that side, essentially hedging out my risk, I'll watch the price action. If the price action really kind of hangs, I mean, I know my maximum loss is going to be 15 regardless, but very often I will just simply close this at like -3, -4, sometimes maybe even -7 for a net loss of -2 instead of a maximum loss of -15. Because basically, remember, most of the time I should never have to use the hedge. If I'm using the hedge, already something is wrong, and the hedge is there essentially for two reasons. One, to give me the psychological protection that I'm not floating a massive loss, and two, to essentially buy me time to see how the market is reacting, right? And I don't necessarily try to make money out of the hedge trade, and I try to and I don't really ride the hedge trade all the way down to the bitter end most of the time. Even though I know I have the beautiful thing is I know I have an absolute loss control on that particular trade. Most of the time, if I have a hedge, I'll scratch it out. So in a perfect world, if you're running this, right, you should have, let's say, 10 trades. Out of those 10 trades, 8 of them should be no hedge trades. You should be correct in your directional view. And then 2 of them will be hedges. And if you can just kind of minimize the hedge to a 5-10 point loss, your overall P&L just becomes very, very profitable, consistently profitable every single day. And that's what I've been doing. Now, of course, the other thing that I did, and I beg all of you to do this. I promise you, this is the single most powerful change that will happen to you. It's got nothing to do with trading. Get rid of your P&L. Stop looking at your P&L. Don't even think about how much money you're making or losing on any given tick. It will liberate you to just trading the setups. And don't even look at it at the end of the day. Don't even look at it at the end of the week. Look at it once a month. Look at it once a month, and you'll be amazed. You'll be pleasant. My promise is I think most of the time you'll be very pleasantly surprised. So far we've got nothing. We've got no reversals. We just got continuous down moves, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, Boris, yes. The first signal in continuation is really where we are focusing on. right? This is what I really want everybody to master. The secondary reversal, I'm happy to do those trades with you guys live when we get them because they're exciting and they're interesting and they're fun. But my argument is that if we just reduce ourselves to the first in trend with a hedge with a 2 account hedge structure, we'll probably be much better off. We'll be much better. We'll be taking literally the best possible trades, even though we don't necessarily get the all the trades. Yeah, and the answer to that is no. I totally understand that. The answer to that is no, because remember, we're in a 1-minute chart. Just wait. Give yourself an hour. You'll get a switch back. Remember, there are times where you get 3 switches in an hour. So every 20 minutes, you get a switch in trend and possibility. I know, like right now, it's just a swan dive, right? We literally just came down 100 NASDAQ points off the open. Actually, profit taking. I honestly, I'm not even watching the news. Aside from the fact that that our president just committed election fraud, election crime and fraud, and would be in prison were he not a president. I can't think of any other reason for why the market is selling off, but Jonathan, I completely non-trading item, but I got send you this. I'm actually going to send this article to everybody. The reason why is because this is one of the best. This is literally the best piece of writing you're going to read this year about society as a whole. And the writer is a very well-known guy on Medium, Udam, and he quotes. I think was it your uncle, or I don't remember what wrote. One of Jonathan's relatives is the gentleman who created Maslow's needs, which is the foundational pyramid of how everybody views human needs in psychology. And so he quotes him as it's kind of like a core component of his thinking. Actually, I got to find this link. It's so cool. Just bear with me a second here, guys. It doesn't matter, whether you're a conservative or a liberal. I really recommend you guys read this. It's one of the best pieces of writing you're going to see today. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. I'm getting it for everybody. I'll take a look at the YM just 1 second. Everything is extended at this point. I mean, there's no trades right now at all. Like we don't even have reversal trades because there's no reversal arrows, right? Everything is nothing is telling us that there is a semblance of a bottom yet, which is what we want to trade. And continuation, of course, has already happened. So you don't want to be chasing continuation. So my answer to you, Boris, is yeah, you have to wait. So this is actually you bring up a key point that I want to create in our tool set, because I like these audio cues that we have. I'm actually just looking for it. I guess there's been no audio cues. That's why it's been quiet. One really valuable audio cue that I want to have, which I'm going to have Daniel built in, is the moving average crossover, because the moving average crossover is actually the single most foundational and important. Like we don't even look at the market until we get the moving average crossover, and it's a very obvious, simple thing, but it's the foundation for our whole step of processes that makes our setup so great. So I'm going to have like a wave, have him create a line in the indicator and a way for us to say trend, new trend starting, something like that, so that's also on my game plan. So yeah, so here's the thing. We clearly have a mean reversion trade going on, but unfortunately no signals here. If this candle was like had a little bit of a lower low, it would have been a signal candle, and we could have tried to try to trade this V-shaped recovery. There's always going to be a V-shaped move here, one way or the other. But as I said, the V-shaped moves are nowhere near as accurate because the problem is they can die out very quickly and then revert back to retest the bottom. And usually it's always the second wave off the move that tends to work better, which is why I don't try to chase these ideas. And we sit here with our hands folded, just watching the price action. But doing that really keeps you from doing unnecessarily risky trades. It's really all about doing less risky trades than you need to do, right? You want to do the most confident trades, right? That's really what it's all about. I haven't looked at the YM, Jonathan, so I honestly, the other thing is, since I'm only trading the NASDAQ, I got rid of the YM. I got rid of the S&P. Now, all of this is not the end all of my idea. My whole point is that you want to have a clean, clear, sparse canvas until this becomes second nature. And when it becomes second nature, then you can add a secondary canvas. You can add YM or ES or Russell, which by the way trades really well on all of this stuff. And you can add that setup to this to the second thing. Now, those of you guys who don't need can multitask comfortably can do this now. But I'm really trying to just train my eye, I'm very, very serially oriented. So I want to master the clean setup so well that it's almost semi-automatic in my brain. And it's been actually really good. Like, I mean, honestly, since I started doing this, like this particular structure of just NASDAQ, double-sided, watching the setups, even when I was doing some dumb trades over the vacation, I did sneak look at my end of the year P&L just because I needed to rebalance the accounts for money purposes, and it was like just really smooth. I was shocked at how smooth the P&L was all of last week. Much better than any time I've ever done in terms of consistency. So that's the thing that I want to stress to everybody, is if we can structure it that way, keep it single instrument, both sides, only the best setups, master that setup, and then just let it go. You're free to layer in all the other ideas we have, but remember, every time we're layering in the idea, we're taking our focus off the main idea, and it just depends on how much of a budget of your attention span do you have. Yeah, moving average crossover audible sounds great. Thanks. Yeah, Karen, definitely. And Boris says, yeah, it's safer to focus on less instruments. Yeah, you do. I mean, one of the interesting things that I was reading about from like really guys who trade just huge size, 20, 100 million on a trade. One of the guys said something really interesting. He says, losing on a trade is not about losing on a trade. When you take a stop, he says, it's not about that loss. The real loss comes from the fact that you're so pissed or so unfocused. And he kind of put it very elegantly as he's a British hedge fund manager. He says, you have your gun down while the elephant walks by, meaning that when the true great setup comes in, because you're so pissed off and you're so obsessed about nurturing a losing trade, you don't have either the financial or the mental capacity to take the good trade because you're mired in a bad trade. And that's the essence of what I'm trying to do here, is just never to be mired in a bad trade. I mean, you're going to have bad trades, but not to be mired in it, not to be, because that is literally when the other thing that was really, really interesting, really, really interesting. I mean, I'll talk about this, as I said, throughout the year, but the other interesting takeaway was this guy does this incredibly simple trick in getting all his traders to become profitable. You know what he does? So he says to them, he basically makes them go back and look at every single trade they've done, let's say over the last 100 trades, 200 trades. And then, yeah, see, like this is where it fucks up. So this is a sell continuation arrow, and it's calling it a buy continuation arrow, right? This is like a tiny little error that we need to fix. I mean, obviously you can see it's a sell continuation error, but we need to fix that that thing because it's calling it a buy continuation, and it's not the audible, because the audible is just triggered by the it's attached to to the thing to the right signal, so it's just simply characterizing the signal. You saw that, so it's just not working on that side. I'm just looking at this setup here, and this I think is actually, it's a pretty legitimate setup for us to take. So let's do this. It's another one down to the lows. So we have it's very choppy in FX, as you can see. We have a minor sell signal, which may be completely reversed at this point. But right now, so long as the moving averages stay below the other, it's still a downtrend. And then this is the first trend signal within downtrend. So if this breaks to the low side, that would put us into a short euro trade. We'll let that float for a while and see. So I didn't finish my story. So what the guy does is he makes everybody sort all their trades. Yeah, I thought you'd like it. But isn't it cool that he talks about Maslow, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, like it makes imminent sense. Like it's just trying to explain it to anybody, whatever. Let's talk about trading. So what the guy does is he says, look at your last 100 trades, sort them from winners to losers, and all I want you to look at is what are the winning trades. If there is a common thread in all those winning trades, if you're not just trading randomly, but if there's a common thread in your winning trades, I just want you to focus on doing those winning trades. So, was there a setup? Was there an instrument? Is it maybe you're only trading the NASDAQ well, or maybe you're only trading the euro well, maybe you're trading this. And it's remarkable how that just one simple exercise of just focus, we're always thinking about how do I fix my losers. And he, so it looks like we're in the euro trade right now. So we're going to let that float a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So we're always trying to fix our losers, and his whole point is forget about the losers, just focus on replicating the winners, which I thought was really, really interesting as a methodology, and it definitely works much better. I mean, he's got a tremendous, the thing that's interesting about it, this is a guy who runs a very, very large hedge fund, which is comprised of lots and lots of different traders trading for him. So he's not him trading, him alone trading the return. And most of the traders that he takes in are actually not big macro analysts or large hedge fund traders. They're actually come from the market making background. Because the other thing that he said that was so super interesting in this article is he said that it's never about price. It's always about size. He says it doesn't matter how wrong the price is in your trade. the thing that kills your trade is not how wrong you are on price, it's how wrong you are on size. He says it's always size that kills the trade. So, and this is so true with almost all of my big drawdowns are always a result of revenge trading. Revenge trading is essentially you increasing size, right? Which is the bane of all of your sins afterwards. And his argument is if you're trading, if you're out of sync with a market, don't worry about price, just worry about size. Get down to the smallest possible size and just stay there, until you're back in sync with the market. So like really interesting practical, practical applications of lots of trading methodologies. I'm going to take 3 on my euro right now. It's off screen, but I'm just taking that off. Just because I'm sure it's actually probably going to go my way, but it's a very, very choppy market right now. So again, the most important thing was what was the interesting thing about this euro trade? It was trend. It was the first signal in trend. And since there's, we're just basically really chopping two-way markets, I'm kind of, I'm just riding it for what I can, right? It's probably going to go to full 5. I'm going to ride it for what I can. But you see how unstressful this was by just me not pressing it, not forcing a trade, but waiting for the trade. Here it goes to full 5. Usually I should have just waited. But anyways, if you took the euro trade with me, you made 5. The other euro trade made 5. So we're at least 10 on the day without even touching NASDAQ, because NASDAQ just simply not showing us anything. And that's the thing. That's what these guys always talk about is that you don't trade the market unless the market shows you what you want to trade. It's kind of very, very valuable. Yeah. So as I said to you, I did a lot of reading, and a lot of it really rang true with me, especially now that we're so actively day trading. Because whether you're trading 10 million or 1,000, the exact same psychological and physical and financial dynamics are occurring, and there is no, yeah, sorry. So the cable, you said cable had a trade. Did you take a trade in cable? Cable, I guess you could, yeah, I've actually been really trading cable very, very well. Cable actually is super responsive to this trade, but this would have been a little bit of a stretch because we didn't have quite the moving average, trend start. I guess the trend started after the signal. But if you took this break to the low here, you certainly had the move. Cable is kind of like the NASDAQ of FX, and those these 5-point scalps are just beautiful in cable. I mean, I'm like, for the first time in my life, I'm having fun with cable, which is really unique to me. As long as you stay to this very, very critical rule of staying to the trend break, staying with the first trend signal, right? So to your question, Boris, do we trade reversal, right? So, and this becomes right now as I'm watching this thing, we'll see if it actually formulates. Right now, it's possibly, depending on how this candle completes, could give us a sell reversal signal, which from our perspective right now, right, could be actually an early trend signal, meaning that if the NASDAQ really did sell down, if this is all they had, the sellers killed it for 100 points. They found support, a little bit higher lows, right? Now we got, we have the sell signals, setting up, and it's not quite setting. Okay, we have a sell continuation error, right? So this is not as high a confidence trade as if we had the moving averages cross over and we had it's not. This is an early gamble that reversal is about to take place. So would I take this trade in my, as my own trade? No, because I'm really trying to trade trend only. But if you want to take it as a spec trade, if we want to take like kind of a virtual trade, it would be okay because it's not, it's not a horrible idea. It's just not the best possible idea. What you're trying to do is you're kind of rushing your anticipation of a turn in trend, which would be okay because at least you have reason for why. You have lots of selling, you have a sell signal, and if that sell signal is reversed, even though it's a downtrend, at least it's an early sign of a turn in trend from sellers to buyers. So if this indeed, what's the high end over here? 94.20, 94.50. If we close 94.50 or above, right? And by the way, kind of like the longer that moves vertically through space, like in other words, if we test the bottom here again, and then we try to trade 94.50, it becomes stronger candidate for a possible reversal trade. So this becomes essentially your first trade in a buy trend, right? You're just anticipating it early. So 94.50. So again, we can watch this a little bit, see if it materializes. But Connie, did you trade cable? Did you trade cable to the downside? Good job. Good job. It's a lot easier to trade cable this way than any other way, right? Because cable is notoriously difficult. So let's watch the Nas just for a little bit, and then we can. We're actually getting into overtime. So the other thing I was going to say is the other big plan for this year is obviously we're going to continue hardcore with day trading. Tuesday through Thursday, Zooms. I actually want to make Zooms. I think I want to start making Zooms 9:30 to, or like let's say 9:15 to 10:30, because I really think that like that whole half hour, 10 to 10:30, is sometimes very fruitful for us as a possible hour. So we might make it like just basically the New York Open, right? The first hour of New York Open. So like 9:30 to I don't want to do it right on the New York Open because it kind of gets pandemonium. So we'll start early, like 15 minutes early, but we'll go like 9:30 to 10:30, right? Actually 9:15 to 10:30. So that's what I mean. And then I definitely want to add. We definitely want to add one Asia session trade a week for everybody who's in Asia. And it's probably going to be Thursday night trade. So like Thursday night to me, which would be Friday morning to everybody else, as both an educational and a possible trade, and a possible entry trade. So I haven't really settled down fully on how I want to commit myself to a schedule, but there will be we'll definitely have at least 5 New York Open trading sessions for sure. I also really want to introduce, because sometimes Kathy doesn't like to trade event risk, or maybe she's away from event risk. But I definitely want to introduce. We'll definitely do Fed decision as a core component of our live trading, because that's a very tradable event for us. Non-farm payrolls are naturally part of the of like the Friday trade. And I'm just trying to think of like if there's any other. And there's just literally nothing else that really moves the markets at all. So we'll trade NFPs and Fed decisions every single month on a stock basis. We'll trade our usual Zooms, and then we'll probably do an Asia session add-on to help everybody in Asia. That still leaves Europe, and maybe I don't know if you guys want to do. Europe is a very hit or miss type of a thing, because sometimes Europe can be really profitable and sometimes it's just dead. So I don't know if I want to add the Europe session just yet. But if you guys really, I know there's a lot of Europeans here. if there's a lot of demand, we'll think about a way for us to add Europe also. So that's the whole idea, is to have, quite a lot of consistent day trades day trading sessions every day. Yeah, and that may be the right thing, is we could just focus on FX and European Open, just see the big stories that are carrying over from Europe, and that's not a bad idea. And that also gives us a chance to, because there's still a lot more people who are much more comfortable, with FX than they are with CFDs, and honestly, it's a great way to introduce people into trading sessions via FX, because the methodology, the most important thing is to teach them the methodology, and then they can apply it, across the stuff. So yeah, so I think that's probably how it's going to work. So we're not getting any real turns just yet. It may be another 10, 15 minutes. We'll just be very patient with NASDAQ. I'll let you guys know. In the meantime, it's still, like, less is more. We traded just twice today, both trades purely in the money. I didn't even trade the cable trade, which totally would have worked. Thank you for calling that out for me. And that's pretty much where things stand. I'm working on just finalizing our tool sets, getting ourselves organized. But as you can see, we're hitting it really consistently. So any final questions, any thoughts? Anybody, anything else? Anybody have anything for me? There's a lot of people who are very silent, who are probably new, who don't have a clue. Please ask me the questions here. You have my full undivided attention during these live trading sessions. If you come back to me during the day when I'm working on a million different things, and you start asking me questions, it becomes a lot easier, a lot harder for me to give you the undivided attention that you want. So don't miss this opportunity by being shy. There's no question you can ask me in the room that is silly. Everybody is asked silly questions. You mean just taking the first trend, taking the fattest piece of the steak, right? The juiciest part of the trade, right? Yeah, I mean, this is what really came back as a continuous theme from everybody who's super successful in the hedge fund world, is that they do one. The other thing that the guy said, which is really, really funny. He was very, very. This is one of the most engaging interviews I've listened to, because he was so honest. He said all successful traders are one-trick ponies, which is just so counterintuitive to it. He said, meaning that they know one thing, they have one setup that they really, really perfected. And when they trade that one setup, they make a ton of money. And when they try to, go off that setup and try to do a million different things, that's when they all lose money, which is so opposite of how, we're sort of taught in life that we need to be broad in our skill set, and, that there are universal truths. And as we discover those universal truths, we can apply them across multiple markets and multiple instruments and everything else. It's all bullshit. I thought it was really, he was sort of a very no-nonsense guy. And he said that every successful trader is a one-trick pony. And I am certainly a one-trick pony. I mean, honestly, guys, Kathy is a one-trick pony. Kay has been trading Zip forever. And if there's ever a good example of somebody who understands their methodology very, very clearly and constantly refines to do it better. No, there's no better example of that than her. And I think that was just sort of like a really interesting takeaway from trading. So see, like this is where's my thing? See, it's saying buy continuation arrow, and it's actually sell continuation. It is It's just mischaracterizing this particular setup. So it's something I need to just fix with the programmer. We may have to upload a new version of Arrow Trader on that, but just understand, I mean, it's minor. You know, you obviously can see with your eyes that it's not a buy continuation; it's a sell continuation signal. So we just, you know, you can always adjust, but we'll fix that. It was just the one little error that I found. All right, my friends, we got nothing going on so far. We'll be patient. Thank you so much. Hope you guys really enjoyed the first session of the year as I dumped all of my reading on you from the holidays. Thank you again. I'll see I will create the Zoom links, and we're gonna start 9:15 to 10:30 this week. So we're gonna start the whole. Very good. That's all I want. There's two things we want to do: make money and stay calm, because the two are completely interconnected. They're completely interconnected. You know, that was the key thing. Jonathan, is the Arrow Trader working for you? Did you download that? That should be working for you. I'm gonna work on fixing all of the other stuff. I have CNBC today, so I'm kind of gonna be offline. I got to deal with them today, but I'm gonna try tonight fix all of the various minor expiry issues and EA issues and all that stuff, just to try to get as much to spec as possible. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. So we're going to do 9:15, 10:30, Tuesday through Thursday. That's our new schedule for 2021. You know, when we get the chance to trade the New York Open, which is the best opening. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. I'll post this in just a little bit. Take care.